What's up, everybody? It's Friday. Psych! It's Monday. I got my wires crossed, and Scottie did all this math on Friday, and then I got super into it with the kids, and I just couldn't get on. But we're here to talk about the events for the week and show you some math with some impossible to do things, which is always fun. So we're gonna get into that video right now, and I have, of course, with me the one, the only Scottie. What's up, Scottie? How was your weekend?
It's good. This third spring in Canada.
Yeah. Hopefully this one sticks. Let's go. All right, but before we get into those events, let's talk about some weekly stuff. And of course, we got to rip on Scopely a little bit for the Alliance War reward changes that were supposed to happen not today, but yesterday. And they just never happened. Scottie, were you like waiting with held breath for these changes anyway? Or did most people just not realize it didn't happen and they weren't expecting it?
I definitely was one of the people that forgot and did not know until you said something, and I was like, "Oh yeah, it's not there." Okay.
And now that you've seen the changes, how do you feel about it? Like me personally, I love the store change, the fact that there's more slots. But then I looked at that orb, and I'm going to have to make another video on just that orb, because it's kind of a big oof, right?
I haven't looked at the orb. You're catching me. I still didn't look at it today. I just heard it was there, and I went, "Okay, what's oof about it?"
Um, there's only a chance for the character uniques. The numbers aren't very much, and there's only chance in catalysts too, and of course, it's even chances for all the catalysts. So I opened up about 10 of them just to see what it get, and I got I think 7 armors, and I was like, okay, I'm not opening any more of these. That's it.
Hmm.
That's it for that. But it
I'm
just
so glad I hoarded for so long.
I know, right? Here's the thing for me. It just feels too little, too late. Now, well, I'm gonna say this I gotta say this for the other video because I gotta get into numbers and everything. We'll do it for another time. It's a little bit of a letdown for me, and I guess you'll take a look at it later. Let me know.
Okay.
Morbius Blitz was supposed to happen today. That also did not happen today, but there was a reason for that. They pushed it aside so that the Morbius Blitz would start when the next Blitz event starts, so that there'd be fragments in that. And they said that this was a preemptive thing they did, so that there wouldn't be any kind of bugs leading into the Blitz event.
Which is great.
Yeah.
But was it hard to communicate that last week?
No, but like you said, I'd rather
In
them
the
not skip
blog,
Blitz.
perhaps? That wonderful blog where they could have just been like, "Hey guys, we're gonna do a little modification to the Blitz schedule next week. No, we're just gonna let you know, after the Blitzes have started."
After everyone sees it and all the content creators are tagging everyone in their discords, go do your Blitz rotations before they take it down so you get the milestone rewards. Yeah. But I mean, who cares, right? We get extra red stars, we get extra premium orbs, and it starts tomorrow, and then hopefully the event won't be bugged. Fingers crossed. Ebony Maw is coming. That's yawn for me and you. It's kind of a mixed bag now, though, right? Because for some people who may not have Ebony Maw, they might become a war meta team soon on the defensive side. How are you feeling about that? And are you concerned at all about what Black Order could be turned into?
I'm cautiously optimistic. I mean, it would be nice to revamp Black Order because they used to be a great team.
Yeah.
But I am always worried they're going to break it, and it's going to be like Room 5 and Crucible that just makes me want to beat my head against the wall.
Yeah, speaking of Room 5, there's an Eternal Strike Pass for players who don't have, Icarus or Cersei maxed out yet. So congratulations to everyone who's going to be getting more stars on their Eternals. We got the Ironfist World War II showcase. I've been liking these showcases. It's a big influx of training orb materials. Let me ask you something, though, with them having more of these showcases. How often do you predict we're going to be getting open your training orb events in the future? Because the main reward in these showcases is training orb fragments. And if they've taught me anything, is that if they give you something, they want to make you open it later or pay for opening it on the spot.
I anticipate more because just like we've seen with the open gold orbs, that's not going away. So I don't anticipate this is going away either.
Yeah.
At the same time, I think this has been great because it has allowed a lot of people to get milestones they normally would not have gotten by doing this, and a lot of people needed training orbs, and this is a really easy way to get them. And sure, sometimes when they release them, like free to play people haven't had access to like the character right away, but they usually get them at least like a few days in or halfway, during the event.
Yeah.
And it is a great resource that has been just very easy for people to get. So like I actually think this has been a positive, but the rewards aren't so big that I guess free to play people feel like they're missing out on a lot when they can't do like the second level of it just yet, but they still get to eventually. Like I think it's been good.
Yeah, and I'll say as somebody who's not been buying any characters, so I've been on that free to play difficulty for quite a while before I get to the next side. We're still getting training orb materials. We're just getting 50 orbs less per node. So we're still getting training orbs, which is nice. All right, Captain America World War II is going to be going to the orbs. That's the Mega Premium and all that. Phi Lovell is coming out of the Mega Orbs. They're working on getting the Astonishing X-Men out, but apparently they've been in there so long they have squatters' rights, so we'll see what happens with that. Firestar offers are coming out on the 28th. We're going to talk about that in one of these events. How you feeling about Firestar and the new Warriors? You excited for them in the Crucible?
Yeah. I mean, they sound very interesting.
Yep. I love the whole Cloak and Dagger, Wrecking debuffs, and then these new characters coming in and actually doing some damage on top of it. So I'm pretty excited for them too. They're going to be a spender appreciation for Firestar, just like there was for Captain America World War II, where it's like getting her unlocked gets you points, opening for her orbs gets you points, leveling her gets you points, and all that kind of stuff. So not much to talk about there, except that I think this is the way you do a Kraken appreciation event. You don't tie it to any monthly event. You don't tie it to a leaderboard. For a new character release, you give them a big surge of resources for when they're leveling that character up right on launch. How do you feel about these spender appreciation things?
I mean, the Krakens love it. It's a reward for them buying a character and leveling it up really fast. I don't think the rewards are game breaking that people should have terrible FOMO about it. It's just like it's there. It's okay. Oh well.
Yeah, exactly. It is what it is. All right, we got the New Warrior Rumble out on the 28th, coinciding with her release, Firestar that is. And then we have this one. This one I thought was funny. Archangel, 7 red stars coming to the store. I think that's funny because they just did that auction house or auction leaderboard for him not too long ago. Quicksilver coming in at 1 to 3 red stars for the public, and Union Jack. And that's all TBD. We don't know the actual dates that they'll be coming. So are you going to be upgrading your Archangel, or are you saving for Quicksilver at this point?
I am definitely saving for Quicksilver. Like Archangel's good. He's great, but I don't feel having a 7th red star on him is going to change much for me. Though maybe Infinity Watch and Crucible. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, I agree with you. The only thing that pesters me is that there is a new raid coming. And I'm pretty sure Death Seed is going to be fine without him being at 7 red stars. Mine's at 6 red stars. But I'm always like, oh, I got to be ready for raids. I got to be ready for raids. So we'll see. But like you, I'm planning on Quicksilver right now. At least bringing him up to 3, hopefully 4 red stars eventually. All right, moving on. And here we are with the events, and this is where I got to turn the mic over to you, sir, for this Masters of Judgment event. This is an Alliance Crucible event. So what are we looking at?
So this event is quite easy. I think most alliances, even if you're not full, really should be able to do this, I think. And it's really not a requirement to have like a full Masters of Evil either. So I did kind of 2 ranges of it. So alliances that, all 24 people are going to have all 5 members. And then alliances that maybe have none. So obviously most people are going to have at least a few members. So that you may fall in between, but it shouldn't be close, I think, for a lot of people. So if everybody has Masters of Evil and they use them on offense, obviously like it's a decimal point fraction, so it's not exact. So I just basically said if you all have MOE and you use it, like everyone needs to just clear at least 3 rooms, which I think those alliances that have those people, of course, probably will be able to clear 3 rooms.
Oh, definitely.
And then if everyone doesn't have it, which is probably not a lot of alliances, you just need to clear at least 4 rooms. So 3 to 4 rooms per trial should be Should be good.
Right. Yeah, that doesn't seem very demanding whatsoever. And just so everyone knows, this event is live today. So make sure you don't forget to do your crucibles. I'm looking at you, Knuckle, who's retiring. Do your damn crucible, all right? All right, so this one's pretty free. How do the rewards look? Anything spicy here, or because it's so easy, are the rewards just kind of bland?
I mean, the biggest thing is it contains, like, every tier contains the monthly victory flag items.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, you want to be able to complete this because it's important for the monthly event. But I wouldn't call them juicy, but it makes sense that that's why the event is so free to play friendly.
Makes sense to me. All right, with that said, let's move on to the next event. Okay, and here we are with clips of. I know I'm not going to try it. I'm just going to butcher it. I'm not going to try that. We have a core spending event looking at a max of 10K. All right, what are we looking for with this? What kind of rewards are we going to see? Is it worth it? This does feed into another event, so I'm going to talk me through all this because I have 6,000 cores. But I've been not wanting to spend them on my new free-to-play life. I'm very smog-like with my cores lately.
So I'll get to this summary in the end. I mean, this is important because it does feed into the main milestone. You do have to spend 10,000 cores to complete the whole thing, and that does give you, a lot of the orb fragments that you need for the Immortal Invader main event.
Okay.
But as I'll get to later, that doesn't even help you. Like, that doesn't get you to the end of the event. So it is a lot of cores to spend. But if you wait until the 28th, when the Fire in the Sky event starts for Firestar, you will be able to, if you're gonna use your cores for her orb anyway, it is a good way to double down. I think the most bang for your bucks is in that $3,500 to $4,500 range, a 4,500 core range, because that gives you a pretty decent amount of the Immortal Ally orb fragments.
Okay.
So I think that's more the money shot probably, and I did that later, kind of showing the difference between the two. And I think, like, if people are going to core her orb, which a lot of people will, that's a good way to kind of do two things at once. So I would wait to not spend a bunch of cores until she comes out, and I think that would help. But I do not recommend spending 10,000 cores on this, and do not put in the comments that I did.
All right, fair enough. Look, core spending events are pretty cut and dry, so it is what it is. Let's go check out what this event is actually feeding into. All right, but before we do that, we got to talk about the other event that's going to feed into the main event, the Fists of Rage web milestone, where we're spending campaign energy and ISO 8 campaign energy. We all love coring for green ISO 8. Scottie, how many cores do I have to waste on ISO 8 campaign energy?
So I did the, if you want to try to do it all, now we did just have an ISO energy event, but they were nice enough to give us that extra 10,000 milestone points for that. So that meant that people probably didn't have to use their ISO charges as much for that. So hopefully they have them saved up for this event. So it's not necessarily that you have to spend cores, because you may have a bunch of those energy refills stacked up.
Okay.
Because I have almost 500 saved up for it. But it's a combination of the two. And if you want, it is daily. So you're looking at spending 2,800 energy combined between the two, if you want to complete it. So that obviously is a lot. And most people would want to spend that more on probably campaign energy versus ISO energy, depending on what your needs are. But if you're still struggling with needing green ISO, then this is a great way to capitalize on that too. But you would have to spend, like, what did I calculate it as? Like 800 cores on campaign energy, and 200 cores on ISO energy. And this is me hoping they're going to give us 60 ISO energy a day again, because they just did for the last event. So I'm hoping they do the same thing. That'll get you to about 27, 28 a day. But the new strike pass does start in 2 days, and that will give free-to-play players an extra 480 ISO energy to play with, and then people that buy the pass another 480 on top of that. So that'll help you cushion that and maybe use less cores on the ISO energy.
Okay, good.
But
so, yeah, good.
if you want to be more reasonable, because doing that only gets you an extra, basically, orb a day, which I don't know is going to change that much for you in the main milestone. Okay. You could go the more reasonable route, and then focus more on the campaign energy, just do the 50 core refreshes a day, and then 2 of the 50 core or energy refills a day. And that'll get you to just over 2,000 energy a day, and that'll get you at least 1 orb. And I think that's the more reasonable thing for people to try to do.
Okay, and is this the kind of event where if you want to be super sweaty with it, maybe you can alternate days where you push for 2,800? Where if you wait and do your energy at the very end of the day, you can kind of carry it over, pop it over, but that's like a lot of micromanaging. So it's an option, but it's one that you're going to need to figure out yourself if you want to be that sweaty.
Yes. I think it'll be hard for people to do and make sure, like, I think it's most important that you hit the 2,000 a day. So if you're going to be doing 2,800, but then not hitting the 2,000 the next day, I think you're going to end up in a negative.
Okay.
In that retrospect.
And even if it's not an automatic negative, you might just screw yourself in your head and then forget to do it at some point and then miss a lot. So,
like, if you're not going to do 2,800 a day, I would just go for the 2,000 a day. And even that may be crazy to people, but if you don't do that, then you're looking at even less orb fragments. And I did kind of basically calculate that out in the next part. If you're going to do more reasonable, not spend like a lot of cores, etc.
All right, well, let's go look at that next part because it all comes together in a very neat pile of poop. All right, and here we are with the main event, if you will, the Immortal Invader. So there's just a lot of anger in my free-to-play bones when I look at these kind of events, Scottie. What on earth? Tell me everything.
So I don't know if this necessarily should make you angry, because I think you can get to a very reasonable spot in it as far as the milestones and not feel like you're missing out on a lot of significant stuff.
Okay.
There is like 400k of ISO 5 at the very end, but even if you spend 10,000 cores and max the Fists of Rage web milestone every day, so that's the 2,800 energy a day. Okay. And then blitz your face off. So we're talking 8 rotations a day for 7 days. You're not going to hit that last milestone. And now, of course, I don't have the final numbers. And once the event comes out and we see how many orb fragments we're going to get per blitz rotation on average, this might change. But I did do this based on the last time we were getting orb fragments from blitz, and it seemed like we were getting about 2,000 per rotation on average for most people. Okay. If it's worse, then it's going to be even worse. But if it's somehow better, maybe this will change. But if it sticks with that average, you're not even going to get close to the end, and you're still going to be buying offers just to get 400k of blue ISO.
And I mean, that's dropped a little bit in value. Like, I know everyone still needs it for Big Boy Apocalypse, but now that we're getting a little bit every war, there's a little bit less FOMO to try and hit that, right? So I think that's great. So from a realistic perspective, where do you think most people are going to fall in out of your 4 options you got here?
So I think those are the 2 middle lanes for the sweatier people that are still going to blitz a lot and are going to spend the $3,500 to $4,500 cores. Mm-hmm. But there's not a huge difference on where that gets you in the end, which is kind of crazy. But doing the 4,500 cores, once again, if the blitz rotation, average is what I suspect it's going to be, that will just get you over that milestone 32, which there's a little bit more gold ore fragments, which isn't a lot. There's some damage catalysts, but like no one needs damage catalysts, I don't think.
If it's not focus,
I don't think it's not focus, it's damage. So I don't know how much people would need of that, but the difference between milestone 31 and 32 is not that big. So it's really, I would say it's only worth it if you're going to be using those cores for Firestar anyway, but I wouldn't overextend yourself at all. Now, if you're saying, well, screw that, I'm not spending, any cores or very minimal cores, you're going to do minimal energy a day. So that'll probably get you to like 1,250 orb fragments from that web milestone a day. Okay. And you're going to blitz still pretty hard. Like you're going to go hard on that part because you can. That still gets you like to milestone 31. So there's no difference between spending $3,500 cores versus no cores technically, because it doesn't get you over the hump of milestone 32.
All right, so blitzing is kind of the defining characteristic for the free to play here, because there's such a jump in the requirements from milestones 31 and then onward. Right on. All right, so let's wrap this up. All right, so that's gonna do it for this week's events. Me and Scottie want to wish you guys a happy blitzing for those Ironfist shards. I'm assuming his shards are in the orbs. I didn't actually read the blog that carefully. My eyes glaze over when I look at event leaderboards and the charts, and I just run to Scottie and I say, Scottie, help me, please, and also raid for me. But we don't need to talk about that. So that's going to be it for this. Scottie, do you have anything you want to say to everybody?
No. Hello. Perfect. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Perfect. Oh, and for when the math does come in and we see what kind of fragments we're getting per blitz, when Scottie has been updating in the Discord. So make sure you join the Dorky Den Discord down below, and you can see the updated stuff there. And if you get sassy with Scottie, God help you, because I won't. That's it. And have a good day, everybody. Goodbye. Goodbye, everybody.
Scottie. Bye.
Here we go. Bye. That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.